Hello, welcome to the latest video on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I'm going to just dive straight into it today because what I'm going to be talking to you guys about is finding decision makers, right? If you run a business, if you're in sales, if you are just getting started, we know already that making sales, bringing in money is the most important thing that we can do in the business, right? And to do that, we need to find the people who make the decisions, right? Hence the name decision makers, okay? So what I'm going to run through today fairly sort of quickly is just how to find these people, how to get their contact details, so we can then drive them into our sales process, okay? So without further ado, I'm just going to make myself a little bit smaller so you can see the screen. Happy days. So finding decision makers. Now, as I sort of say, if you don't know me, my name is Ashley. I have built a couple of businesses previously. One was a commercial cleaning company, and you'll notice that a lot of the stuff that I talk about in this presentation is kind of focused in the cleaning world. However, this stuff applies to any business, any service business agency who are looking to find decision makers. Now, the stuff that I'm about to run through, as you can see by the graph, it's fairly self-explanatory. This is a 3-year period, the first 3 years of me building my business. And when we started to implement the things that I'm talking about here was when we really started to grow, because quite simply, we were talking to the right people. Right, we were finding the right people and we were communicating to those and moving away from obviously wasting our time with gatekeepers, etc. So results speak for themselves, and hopefully it's something that we can replicate for you as well. So first things first, why is it important to find decision makers? I'm going to shrink down a bit more to see if I can get out of the way. Fantastic. So when we're looking for, again, like here it's talking about commercial contracts, but just decision makers, generally when we're trying to contact businesses, we need to speak to the right person. Now, unfortunately, sending emails to general email addresses, the info at, the sales at, the inquiries at, it's not going to work. Okay, like you can go to a company website, you can find a generic contact email address, and you can send stuff, but it's going to go straight in the bin, right? Like, because that's what happens. They're normally manned by gatekeepers, receptionists, people in sort of like general administration roles. It's going to go straight in the bin. Okay, the right people. We are not going to be looking at these types of email addresses. Okay. So we need to find the right person's email address. Now, if we don't know who these people are or how to contact them, there isn't much point in trying, right? As I say, if we send it to the wrong place or we try and contact people through the wrong sort of channel, it's just not going to go anywhere, okay? So this also applies when we're calling businesses, okay? So if we're speaking to like a receptionist, a gatekeeper, we're going to get told no, almost always, okay? Which is fine, by the way, because there's ways that we can handle gatekeepers and actually get around them to speak to the right people. However, if we are trying to pitch to the gatekeepers, that's a different story, right? So we need to find the right people in the right role. And if you know who you need to speak to, the chances of getting through are significantly more. Okay, they increase significantly. So that's why it's really important to know who we are targeting. So how do we do that? Now, I'm sure that you've tried it before. I'm sure that you've tried to figure out who is the person that we need to speak to. I promise you it's not witchcraft. Okay, there's no magic formula, there's no secret, there's no anything, okay? I'm just going to walk you through a few simple steps so that we can understand what businesses we want to target and then who within those businesses we want to speak to, okay? It's really straightforward. First, we need to decide on the geographical area that we want to cover and how big the contract needs to be for us to step outside of that, okay? Now, again, you might not be selling contracts. You might not be, it could be the whole country. It could be internationally, right? But here I'm talking obviously about like more service-based businesses who want to work with individual companies. But again, apply this to whoever you are, whatever kind of target demographic you want to serve, okay? Once we understand this, we need to decide if there are any types of businesses that will specifically disqualify as clients. So we're not wasting our time, essentially. Okay, so normally the answer is no. We don't want to disqualify anyone specifically, but you may not want to work with a certain type of industry. You may have said, I don't want to work with hospitality, or we're not going to target IT companies, or whatever it might be. Whether you're a service business, whether you're an agency, we need to decide who we do want to go after and who we don't want to go after. Okay, fairly straightforward. Now, if we're targeting physical locations, okay, if you're not targeting physical locations, this doesn't matter so much in terms of the first steps, but we do want to still compile a list, okay? So first things first, we want to make a big list of the companies within the geographical area that we're going to target, okay, that you could potentially work with. Again, if you work nationally, like forget about the geographical area. We just want to work with general companies across the country. Now, that list should consist of hundreds, if not thousands, of businesses, right? I've been doing this. My sales team's been doing this for like 8 years, and there's still businesses being added to this on a daily basis. Okay, so you won't have this done in the next week, right? I can tell you that for sure. But it's an ongoing process. Okay, now, what we're going to do, if we're working with physical locations, first things first, go to Google Maps, okay? First step, really straightforward. Zoom in to the geographical area that we're going to serve, okay, that we want to work within. Now, if you are willing to go outside of that for companies of a certain size, or what you think contracts are going to be of a certain size, obviously you can zoom out a little bit and you can just cherry pick those businesses. But we want to have a really clear idea of like the geographical area and what businesses sit inside of that, okay? Now, type in the type of businesses that you want to work with, okay? Again, for example, like medical centres, primary schools, dentists, manufacturing buildings, car dealerships, accountancies, solicitors, the list goes on, right? Like, really, like the more specific you are, the better the results are going to pop up with, but it could be anything at all, okay? Again, if you're agency-based and you want to work with maybe care homes, you might want to work with IT companies, SaaS businesses, like whatever it is, and whatever you provide as a service in your agency, doesn't really matter. We want to identify the customers, the types of clients, and more specifically, the actual business names, okay? Now, add those following details to a prospecting list, okay? What I mean by this is go and open an Excel document or a Google Sheet document, and we're going to pop in company name, company phone number, company address, okay? Again, if you're agency based and you can work with anybody, the address isn't so important. If you are working with physical locations, pop the address in so we've got a good geographical understanding of who it is that we're targeting, okay? Now, after that, we are going to head over to LinkedIn, okay? Now, if you're not on LinkedIn, there is a video I've got on my channel, my YouTube channel, where I talk through how to get set up, how to start, how to find the right people, etc. So if you're not on LinkedIn already, head across there, watch that. It's about an hour long, and it will teach you all the things that you need to get set up on LinkedIn, okay? Now, what we're going to do when we are on LinkedIn, in that search bar on the top, okay, we're going to pop in the name of the company that we've just found, okay? Here I've just picked a random example purely because it's a big old place and it's sort of close-ish to where I am, all right? And when we go onto their company page, you can see that I've got it circled there. We want to click on the employees, okay? Now, that part there, and on my screen there, you can see it says 501 to 1,000 employees. That is a link, okay? That is a clickable thing. So once we click on that, it's going to take us to a big list of who works there, okay? So really straightforward. So far, go to Google Maps, find the types of businesses that we want to work with if it's a physical location. If you're not a physical location still, we want to build a big old list of companies that we could potentially work with that are in that ideal client profile that we want to go after, okay? Now, when we are on that company page and we're looking at the employees, we're going to look for people who have the job titles that fit the decision makers that we are looking for. Okay, remember, we are looking for people who make decisions about the thing that we want to do. Now, in this circumstance, again, my background is the cleaning industry, the facilities management side of things. We provided physical services to other businesses in a contracted manner. Okay, so the people that I would want to be looking for, people like facilities managers, operations managers, office managers, practice managers, technical managers, hygiene managers, and there's a few others as well, right? Equally, If you're an agency, you are maybe selling like marketing services, etc. You may want to target like the managing director. There might be a CMO in a business. Whoever it is that you want to be targeting, find that job title on the company page, okay, and uh, and collect those people in for all of the businesses that you've already listed. Again, this is an ongoing process. Okay, every week you're going to want to add people to your prospect list, and you're going to want to go back to this process to go into the employees that work in the business and find the people who have the job titles that probably make the decision. Okay, sometimes with smaller businesses, might be the owner of the business, might be the founder, might be the managing director, could be a CEO, whoever. Okay, it's obviously your business. The services that you sell are going to appeal to different people within the business, and it's these people that we want to target to find the decision maker. Okay, some businesses, like again, this is for the cleaning side of things, but some businesses don't have a dedicated person who deal with contracts. Okay, so therefore, might be someone like a financial manager or a HR manager, general admin role. Okay, always try and target more specific roles first. Okay, now. This is what the employee page looks like. Okay, so like just from my previous example, I've just gone in there, clicked on the employees, and it's got a big old list of people that work within that business. Okay, just so you've got a good idea of what we're looking for. As you can see there, we've got name, we've got company, and we've got job title. Okay, there couldn't be a more straightforward list that we want to be targeting. Okay, so LinkedIn, get yourself on it if you're not already on it. Search the business. Click on the employees, it will come up like this. Then we're looking for the job titles that we want to work with. Okay, now this is the important bit, guys. So take note, okay? What we then want to do is download a data scraping software. Okay, there's loads of these out there. I've listed 3 here that I've used in the past, but ultimately, there's loads and loads of these data scraping websites and softwares. Pick one, or pick all of them, okay? Because the more you've got, the more you can use, the more free stuff you can get. The 3 that I've used that I think are really good: Scrap, Rocket Reach, and Lusher. Scrap is my favorite, purely because I've used it most. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. That's just the one that's probably worked best for myself. Okay, these softwares are going to enable you to find the direct email addresses for the decision makers. Okay, if their email addresses are out there on the internet somewhere, these sites are going to find them. Now, these are free to a certain point. Obviously, like they wouldn't be businesses within themselves if they didn't charge you money at some point, but you do get a decent amount for free upfront. Okay. Equally, you're not doing anything underhanded here. Like there's no personal data or anything. Like if somebody has put their work email on the internet, these softwares are going to find it for you. Okay. And this is where we get a lot more specific because, like I said in the beginning, we can move away from those info at, sales at, inquiries at, email addresses, and target people specifically and more directly to their personal or to their work email address. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, so here's Scrap, for example. We go to Scrap's website, we add it to Chrome, okay? We are going to pop this as an extension on our Google Chrome browser, okay? Really straightforward. Just add it to Chrome and it will pop up, right? Now, once these are downloaded, find those decision makers, okay? Like we've already gone through, go to the company, go to the employees, find the job role, okay, or the job title that you want to target, then go onto their LinkedIn profile, okay? Click the extension button, okay, at the top of your browser. So on Google Chrome, you've obviously got a taskbar at the top. There's a little puzzle piece up there. You click on that because you've installed it into your browser. It will pop up and say Scrap, okay, or Rocket Reach or Lusher or whatever you're using. Click the lead scrape icon and it will pop up with that person's email address. There's nothing technical here. There's nothing like incredibly out there. Like you click the button, you click the icon, it comes up with their email address. Really, really straightforward. Okay. Now it's not going to work for everybody, but that's because their email address isn't on the internet. Okay. Or the system can't find it at least. Okay. So it's not going to work for 100% of people, but generally like 75 or 80% of people, it's going to work for, right? It's fairly sort of, it's fairly accurate most of the time. Apologies if all these notifications going off. Can people not see that I'm trying to make a video here? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the decision maker. Okay, now this is, for full discrepancy, this is Bill Gates. I would highly doubt you guys are going to be targeting Bill Gates. If you are, fair play. I'm just doing this for a demo. Okay, now as you can see at the top right hand of the screen, we've got a button. All you need to do is just click on that icon, and it will pop up. Okay. Underneath there, it will come up with obviously the person's name, what their job title is, and then as you can see on the screen there, it will come up with their direct email address. No witchcraft. Like, I'm pretty sure that everybody watching this is more than capable of doing this. Couple of clicks of a button, and it's going to give you massive foot through the door to get your emails and all of your sales stuff through to the right people. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these details, we're going to add them to our prospecting spreadsheet. Okay, so we're going to take the decision maker name, we're going to take their job title, and we're going to take their direct email address and pop it on that prospecting spreadsheet. Okay, you could possibly additionally add a link to that person's LinkedIn profile that will make it slightly easier to find them again when you go through that sheet, because we're going to be adding like loads and loads of companies, loads and loads of people. So at some point, you're going to want to come back and you might want easy access back to their LinkedIn profile. So if you want to also add a link to their profile, pop it on the spreadsheet. Okay. So that is exactly how we find decision makers, right? Step by step. There's no secret sauce there. It's fairly straightforward. Okay. Some people are easier to find than others. Some have businesses, some are in businesses that have got very clearly defined roles and responsibilities. Others are not so much. Okay, some businesses are smaller. If you're selling a service to them, the person who actually makes the decision might not be in an obvious role. So some are really straightforward. Some are a little more difficult to find. Okay, ultimately though, if you can't find the decision maker's details online, there are a few other ways that we can try and get a name and details. Okay, so the first thing that I would do if I couldn't find their details would be find someone else, right? Nice and straightforward, follow the other steps that we've kind of gone through. But if we can't find the role specifically that we want to target, I would just choose another person in the company, okay? I would then call that company. I would ask for the person that I've found the details of, and then I would ask them, who within the business deals with this thing, okay? Again, my example here is cleaning. That's my background. But if you're selling marketing services, you're a recruitment agency, you're an accounting service, ask them, who is it that deals with that thing in this business? Okay. As they're not a gatekeeper, okay, they'll be much more likely to give you a name and a contact details or contact details of the right person. Okay. And you can almost pretend as if you thought it was them. And then when they correct you, you're almost embarrassed and you're like, oh, sorry, I thought it was you. Okay, so you ring up, you go like, can I speak to Jenny, please? You get on the phone to Jenny. You're like, oh, Jenny, do you deal with the accountancy over at XYZ, whatever? No, I don't. It's actually, such and such. Oh my God, really sorry. Thought it might be you. Could I get their email address or could you put me through to them so I can, see if we can help them out? Okay, that's how I would initially, that would be the best thing that I would do if you can't find those details online. Okay, now outside of that, you could also network. Okay, so you could lean on your existing network to find an in or someone who knows someone within the business. Okay, so search for people that you already know who might have connections within the companies that you're trying to get in. Okay. Ask them for an introduction or at least a name that you can kind of start with. Okay, so you can pop them a message on LinkedIn or an email. You can call them, whatever, and just say, look, I'm really trying to speak to someone at XYZ company. Notice that you've got a few people connected with them on LinkedIn. Could you, because we're pals and I've done you favors in the past, could you maybe make an introduction so I can have a conversation? Okay, might get you through the front door, might get you into a conversation to kind of start with these people. Okay, and that's it, right? That's all we need to do to get prospects and find the decision makers in businesses. Okay, once you've got them, you can reach out to them, you can put them through your normal sales process, and just take it from there. Okay, there's no secret there. There's no witchcraft. It's a straightforward thing. Okay. Now, this is a part of what we do. Okay. At Strategy One, So we help businesses to kind of do this and put that into their company and then take them through a sales process as well. Okay, so very quickly in terms of what we're looking to do, we will help businesses. First things first is create their offer, find the right targeting, and get the pricing right, because ultimately there's no point signing new clients if we haven't got those three things in place. Now, to get those things in front of the right people, we then go through warm outreach techniques, cold outreach techniques, content strategies and assets, ultimately pushing everything through into a value delivery, okay, or a value prop. Once we've delivered that, we then get them into booking the next steps, whatever those next steps look like within our client's sales process. Okay. Now, there's lots of different ways that we do this. Some of this is custom. Some businesses that we work with take what we've got and implement it directly into their business. It really depends on the sales process and the things that you need to go through to attain the information to ultimately get those clients through. I'm not too sure what happened there. I think I've just clicked the wrong button. Apologies. We are back. Sorry, I hit next. Let's make that a little bit bigger. So the thing that we really track, that we need to make sure that happen, we build in KPIs to that lead system as well. Okay, so because it's important to make sure that we're doing the right input to get the right output. Because you can't do these things just once or twice a week and then hope for the best, which is what a lot of people do. We actually build in the KPIs to make sure that we are doing the right inputs, the right things, the right strategies for your business to get the right outputs. Okay. Now, after that, we then put our prospects through a sales system. So first things first is qualification, making sure that we're speaking to the types of clients that we want to work with. Then we build in a nurture and enhancing our own credibility. So this could be through like VSLs. It could be through content. It could be other bits and pieces. Okay. And then a 3-step process of discovery, addressing obstacles before we try and close, and then presenting our offer, and then ultimately close. Okay. So first thing that we do, just going back, we build lead systems for our clients, okay, to put into their business to get more leads, okay, more people to potentially sell to. We then implement a sales system, okay, so we've got multiple strategies to help our clients build a sales system in to reliably get more clients at the end of the day. And then we have a client success system, okay, so we make the sale. Now, the first thing that we really want to be focusing on is a high gross profit offer, okay. Something that is a minimum of 3 times the cost of acquisition, ideally, so that we've got big, lumpy cash flow up front when we sign a new client or get our clients to sign new clients. We then take that and push them into a retain and recurring model, so that not only have we got lumpy cash flow up front, but we've also got a recurring income off the back of that. Now, obviously, as I sort of said, we work with service-based businesses and agencies, okay, so that may not always be the case, and it may be slightly the other way around. So actually selling the recurring model first and then the gross profit offer on the back of that, okay? So it really depends on what your business looks like, depends on how we would build that client success system into your company, okay? Now, if those things there, like just as I've talked through, okay, so obviously we've got the lead system that we put in, we've got the KPIs that we build up front into it as well, we've got the sales system, all those things, and then the client success system off the back of it. If that's not something that you've got at the moment, okay, if you're not reliably getting leads and new clients in a systematic sales process, okay, and it's something that you do want in your company, okay, what we are doing at the moment is a straightforward business audit with you, okay? Now, what we would do, okay, for full transparency, we'll hop on the phone with you, about half an hour, 45-minute call, and we'll talk through your sales process at the moment, okay? And what we're looking to do in that business audit is give you as much value up front with the types of things that we would put into your business to help you get more clients. Now, if you then want to go and do that by yourself, happy days, we've created value for you, and hopefully you're going to go sign an absolute ton of business. Equally, if you want us to help you with it, then we can talk about how we can work with you, okay? for full transparency, obviously, if we think that we are a good fit and we think that we can help you with this, then we'll talk about what our program looks like and how we can help you do that. If we don't think you're a good fit, but there's some bits in there that we can help you go and grow your business anyway, then happy days. It's free advice, it's free help, and hopefully you can go and put that into your business. So if you're watching this at the moment, in the description below this video, I've popped a link. And if you want to jump into a business audit with myself or one of the team, all you need to do, click on the link, book yourself in for a time that works for you. And we will hop on a call to see what we can do to help you grow your business, or give you some advice and some help in terms of what systems we would look to put in, whether you want us to do that or not, so you can go and get more clients and ultimately make more money. Thank you very much for watching this. I would really appreciate if you found any value in this at all. If you can subscribe or like the video, share it. Obviously, the more people that we can get watching these videos and the more people we can help, the better, okay? Because ultimately, our main goal is to help people get more clients, make more money, build better businesses. And by subscribing and sharing this video, you are helping us do that. So thank you very much. And I'll see you hopefully on the next video.